Hello, community! Have you ever thought about strategic positioning your YouTube channel? Let's say you're working in the area of computer science, like I do. So, where would I start? Let's say you have about 1000 YouTuber in your specific topic, in your area. In my case, it is computer science. Now, if you think about strategic positioning your market players and so on, what immediately came to my mind was MOOCs, these massive open online courses, the open course providers. And of course, one of the first that even I learned as a student was MIT OpenCourseWare, a great learning resource from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And then I thought about, hey, great, but listen, we have so many hardware and software providers like NVIDIA, like Google, like Microsoft, like AWS, and they all want to build an ecosystem. And they have their hardware, they have their software. So let's have a little bit of dive into how they provide information and if there is a potential for an external YouTuber. Let's have a look at this. Let's start here with the MOOCs. Where does MOOC get their material from? Now, just learned that in 2021, about 150 universities offered 4,000 university courses on Coursera. Some of them are free, some of them you have to pay for. Now, what I think that is interesting is that, let's say, you have university courses, so you have universities. And let's take Stanford University as an example, because you're not going to believe it, Coursera was founded by two professors from the Stanford University Computer Science department. So we have Stanford University, and then you have Stanford Online, and Stanford Online has an own YouTube channel. So you see here, they provide a YouTube channel and they provide the university courses, the knowledge, also to external course providers. You say, hey, interesting. And those course providers not only have, let's say it's Coursera, their own Coursera courses behind a paywall. No, they also, of course, go fishing for new customers. So they have some of their courses on YouTube, on the free YouTube available for you as a teaser. Great. So suddenly you see, you have Stanford Online YouTube channel and Coursera YouTube channel and other providers YouTube channel, and it's all coming more or less from the same source, from a university. Stanford is just here stands for one of those 1,000 universities you have globally. And now let's move on to the other part. If you think about NVIDIA, if you think about Google, if you think about AWS, if you think about Microsoft or whatever, they also have channels. They have YouTube channels. And I just took here the Google Cloud Tech YouTube channel, where they provide information about their products, about their technology, about their system, how you can rent them, how you can lease them, how you can work on their cloud platforms. Beautiful. So suddenly you see you have a lot of other players that you should think about if you want to work out a strategic positioning for your channel. And the channel might either be established or a new channel, whatsoever. Now, interestingly, if you think about those big hardware provider, the platform provider, you notice immediately that each of them have a corporate education, a corporate university, a corporate campus, whatever you want to call them. So they have some, in old-fashioned terms, some in-house learning resources, because technology changes every week if you think about artificial intelligence. So they have here their own sources compatible with their technology. And of course, if you think about kind of a YouTube channel, they have behind a paywall their own channels for their own corporate universities. And to show that you can, even if you're outside of this system, you can get, let's say now AWS, an AWS certificate to show that you mastered their technology, you took their courses, you paid them your money, and now you are able to, I don't know, cluster management or whatsoever. So you see, interestingly, where suddenly we all have YouTube channels and where you should think if you provide content, what kind of content you want to provide against what competitors or with what partner network. Okay, let's have a look at this. Oh yeah, I just forgot. Those certificate here, we have, of course, the same certificate structure here. I mean, of course, if you attend a university and you do a PhD, Then you have, let's say, a PhD in data science. So after 4 years or 5 years or whatever, you have now officially a university certificate that you are able to do something in data science. Now, the course providers, of course, had the same problem, and we're going to talk about this in a later video. They had also to provide you some certificate. Of course, it was a course provider specific certificate because they only could issue their own certificate. And they had to provide from those, let's say, Coursera, 4,000 courses. They had to structure them. They had to group them somehow together. And they came up with, think about it as a knowledge graph, where they provide you different knowledge graphs where you can get all the different certificates. So great. So you have here now the corporate university of the industry certificates, you have your university certificates, you have your course provider certificates, and you're still sitting here as a YouTuber and you think, my goodness, suddenly the competitor ecosystem becomes quite mighty. Of course, I forgot somebody. I forgot a complete market, a technology segment, so sorry, but no problem. Let's integrate it. I choose Dataprix as a representative of this industrial sector. Why? Dataprix, at the very beginning, Matej said about data plus AI. So they built their own artificial intelligence system, but they also focused heavily on data. So let's have a look at this. If you look now, of course, they have their own YouTube channel, the Dataprix channel. Also, they use as a good information diffusion platform. But of course, they have, like here, the corporate industry universities, their campuses. They have their own behind the paywall or behind, I don't know, Databricks wall. They have their own channel for knowledge diffusion. So this is great. So this is if you want the in-house structure. But interestingly, they also have kind of a tech implementation team that goes to their clients and help their clients to transform or move their databases or their data in general from the old platforms to the new data platforms. And they also have some beautiful literature, and it is great to read some of their reports, see some of their experience they report on. So beautiful sources of information if you're interested now in this, let's call it a little bit more holistic view where you integrate data and artificial intelligence. And you are not going to be surprised if I tell you, of course, that they have here something that has not only the idea of the integration of data and AI, but they developed also a specific language for this. And if you are familiar with the Apache ecosystem, you know that Spark is a member of the Apache the open source ecosystem. They call it, of course, because it's a Python derivative, PySpark, and they are running in this open source Apache ecosystem, which is great, which the clients really valued, because if you look at the other two, let's say, languages, you have, of course, TensorFlow and PyTorch. Now, TensorFlow, there's a specific instance, I would say, the Keras API. It's a beautiful add-on on TensorFlow 2 with a very high functionality, and this provides, I think, real value if you have to choose between PyTorch and TensorFlow. So you see these add-on Python libraries or these like Keras APIs, they provide value for the user. So whatever you as a YouTuber choose, if you go with TensorFlow or PyTorch, you can specialize. I think in general, I try to focus that I know both languages or all the different languages, because you have to be, or if you choose, you can be an open platform for all of them. So great. Next. Think about it. What is the end game? What is our strategic aim? Look at Databricks. I found it so beautifully formulated by them. They want to be a cloud-based, collaborative data science, data engineering, and data analytics platform. Think about this. When I talked about university and PhD, yes, if you look at this, there's a strong cluster, strong focus on data science. You do a PhD at a very known university. This is data science. They come up with new ideas. If you look at this hardware sector, where you have NVIDIA and the Google TPU and the hardware development, they are really specialized in data engineering. They run the cloud infrastructure, so everything about data engineering, this is their daily business, and they're gorgeous in this. And of course, if you think about NVIDIA GPUs or data centers or artificial intelligence dedicated hardware, in general, the technology development here that is going on is an amazing factor, and we will look at this interplay in a later video. But for the time being, you see here, you already have kind of an industrial sector where they say, we want to be cloud-based, we want to be collaborative, and we integrate data science, data engineering, and data analytics. Now, data science, we have, of course, here the main source, maybe a university. Those data engineering is here in the platforms, you can say, but data analytics is really the services that a lot of industry sectors ask for. So business intelligence, if you want, if you go with Gartner or McKinsey or whatever, integrated approach. This is so beautiful. So suddenly you see, you as a YouTuber, just looking at the main player that you can think of in the first minute, your ecosystem expands beautifully. So this was a very short video on strategic positioning, but to keep the tension high, I will look at this in detail in my next video. It's called Dynamic Markets, when all of these market players suddenly become a dynamic system. And I will show you my thoughts when I try to position my YouTube channel in computer science in an evolving and dynamic market situation. I say thank you, and I see you in the next video.